Ann Heche has been taken off life support after being matched with an organ recipient. So Heche, 53, which is still a very young age to go away, was declared brain dead Friday in California, where local law says a person is deceased after the declaration, even if they still have a heartbeat. Right? So, I mean, in California law, she was deceased, even though in a lot of other places she wouldn't be deemed as passing away. So she was kept on life support until Sunday, so her organs could be preserved and donated, the rep said. It has long been her choice to donate her organs, her rep told Page 6 last week. And here's the thing, which is kind of like a weird situation, right? Because you have Anne Heche, who has basically poisoned her body, did a series of very bad choices that got worse, potentially almost ended someone's life by hitting them with a car, almost hitting them, right? To then end up passing away due to those decisions, which will then now lead to potentially saving the lives of multiple people. It's like a really weird cycle when you view it from that context, right? So you have someone that basically potentially almost harmed her own body to, you know, irrepair, to almost ending the lives of potentially like numerous people, where luckily she didn't, to then where she ended her life due to her choices, which will now lead to people surviving. Which, in a sense, is kind of good when you look at it. We're like, okay, so with the ending of one life, potentially far more lives will now be saved. That's like one way to look at it. So the actress best known for her role as Patricia Campbell in NBC's drama The Brave, whatever that show is, never regained consciousness after suffering horrific burns in a car crash August 5th. And here's the thing, if she survived the car crash, she could have potentially been jailed, potentially fined millions of dollars. And the reality is, people involved in this accident are probably going to sue her estate as well. So a report indicated Heche had drugs in her system when she barreled her blue Mini Cooper into a suburban LA home, igniting a serious fire. And the Los Angeles Police Department obtained a warrant shortly after, pulling the actress from the wreckage to also test her blood alcohol level. And also, like, she like ran away from like two different accidents before crashing into the house. So police dismissed an investigation into the terrible crash after she was declared brain dead. She was also known for her roles in the movies Donnie Bosco, Wag the Dog, and I Know What You Did Last Summer. I think this is the only one that I've actually heard of. I Know You Did Last Summer. But that's a really old one. She won a Daytime Emmy Award in 1991 for her roles as identical twins in the NBC soap opera Another Road. And Heche is survived by her 13-year-old son Atlas with the Canadian actor James Tupper and a 20-year-old son Homer with her ex-husband Coleman LaFoon, and she is survived by her mother Nancy. Now here's the thing that's really crazy, right? You have a 13-year-old son, and yet you're making multiple decisions to intoxicate yourself with various substances, potentially even fentanyl, to what? What purpose, right? To numb whatever pain that you're going through? Like, the reality is, you're still an adult, you're still a parent, right? So to do that sort of stuff while being a parent to a 13-year-old, like, that is such a not okay thing to do. So let's check out some of the comments on this, because you know there's going to be a bunch. Let's see. If being declared brain dead is given a reason for allowing the harvesting of organs in California, much of Hollywood are eligible to be immediate donors. We should also look at her decision to donate and the kindness behind that decision. Now, this is kind of weird because, okay, so you're kind enough to donate your organs, but you're not kind enough to not use substances while you have a 13-year-old son, also while you're driving. So we should also salute the fact that her speeding through a crowded neighborhood at 10 a.m. didn't kill anyone, including the renter of the house she destroyed. Sure, you're right, and she was a troubled soul. The fortunate fact is that she did not hurt anyone else. I agree. She certainly might have, could have, but in the end, other than property damage, she was her only victim. As grateful as I am for the decision to donate, I am also grateful that she hurt no one else. Is that it? Are you content now? If you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all. Wise words from a cartoon character, no less. You might consider them before commenting in the future. Don't say nothing at all is a double negative, so you're actually encouraging people to say unkind things. Well done. You might want to look into remedial English at a local junior college. I'm not going to say that sentence. You think she had that in mind before she got high and burned down someone's house? Why would her organs that are drug abused be fit for someone not sure about this one? A tragic ending, but the glorification of her organs possibly being viable is sad. Just let the whole thing go. She had issues. The senseless ending of her life showed that. I feel bad for the recipients getting her drug addled organs. It has been reported she had herpes. I'd be more concerned with that. Yes, it is good for a good of her. I have not made a similar declaration. A lot of people do not pre-donate, but when they die, hospitals ask the family if they can donate organs, and often the family approves it. I wouldn't have thought the organs were healthy enough due to her past present alcohol drug abuse. Now here's the thing, right? That is an interesting statement, but you also got to keep in mind too, everybody's body is different. The organs in their body all have different tolerances than another person's. For example, why do you see some people being able to literally smoke their whole life and live past 100 years old, and yet you have some people who smoke like a couple pack of cigarettes for like a year and they end up getting lung cancer, right? So you never really know the damage to someone's organs until you actually get a hold of their organs or you do organ imaging. So that's something to keep in mind. This is why some people could literally just pound alcohol day in, day out, barely feel any buzz, and yet also have like basically no damage to their organs. And you have another person that they have one sip, they're gone. Like mentally, they're just gone, right? So it's a very interesting thing. Like people's bodies and how they handle different things is completely different. Tough situation for the kids, especially the 13-year-old. Everything about this story is so weird. Now they're making it sound like they've been searching and woo, finally found a recipient for her organ, and now we can harvest and unplug her. That is just not how it works. There are lists based on blood type and or other criteria for each organ. So there's a liver transplant list, kidneys, etc. Desperately sick people are already on these lists. Based on Ann's criteria, matches to recipients would be almost immediate. Not sure why they're saying recipient like one person gets everything. I wish reporters knew what they were talking about so they could write coherently. I agree. So, heart still beating, but you are declared dead. Meanwhile, a fetus heartbeat in a womb means they are living. I need help in trying to understand. Heart beating because the machine is forcing it to beat. Take away the machine and the heart will stop. It was not a Mini Cooper. It is a mini Clubman. It was a mini pharmacy with a mini part. Oh, that's hilarious. Sadly. That's like dark humor, honestly. Heche was brain dead well before the accident. As thoughtful her decision to donate her organs are, the law is disturbing. I've seen those declared brain dead, as rare as it is, make a comeback. This is government overreach when they need a law to say when a person is dead, they're micromanaging life. The legal definition of brain dead is a district attorney in NYC, LA, San Fran, Seattle, Portland, Chicago, DC, etc. Everyone should be an organ donor. I hope she is at peace now. Who's the lucky recipient of those cocaine infused organs? Charlie Sheen. This high profile driving while drug impaired death and destruction should open a national conversation about the evils of drug alcohol impaired driving, which kills tens of thousands and maims tens of thousands more each year in the US. But sadly, it likely won't, and the dead bodies will continue to pile up. Sad. Unfortunately, America has never been truly serious about combating the scourge of drugs. Now, China and Mexico take advantage of our weakness and indifference to destroy a once great society and world power. Hmm. I think I'd refuse your liver. Blah 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 blah. Heart still beating, and they say you're dead. Goals. The heart is still beating because of the ventilator. If you are an organ donor, staying on the ventilator until the organs are harvested must be done so they don't shut down. It is very difficult for the family because of that, I know, because I went through it with my husband. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. It is excruciating. My brother was a 32-year-old Green Beret in Vietnam and had a cerebral aneurysm. He had AB negative blood, the rarest of all. The people who received his organs had been on waiting lists for a long time and had given up hope when they got the call. There were two helicopters on the roof of the hospital waiting for his harvested organs. He would have loved it. What a wonderful thing that was. Best legacy ever. I have to say, yeah, I mean, he probably would have liked that situation if that was basically the end of his life, given his history. May Jesus bless her family and friends through this tragedy. I'm glad she was an organ donor. Rest in peace, Anne. I am so confused. I thought I read several articles that she died yesterday. So here's the thing, right? The reason why so many articles on the previous day declared that she died is that, legally speaking, in California, because she was determined to be brain dead, aka a vegetable, she was deemed to be legally dead, right? So they were basically just trying to see if they could find everyone that they could as fast as possible to donate her organs to, where they could actually use them. So I hope they compensated Heche's family for her organs. These hospitals and organizations make bank for your organs and won't even pay for the funeral. That's wrong. That's why I won't donate my organs. It's a racket. If it's a moneymaker overseas, it definitely is one here. Who cares if you're saving a life? For God's sake, donate. So you don't mind someone else getting rich off the organs of your loved ones? You're either rich or very gullible. I mean, that's one way to look at it. Because the thing is, I think some organs could go for like multiple six figures plus, depending on who needs it as well. Just please be kind, people. Everyone knows she had alcohol and drug problems. Her death is very sad for her family and friends that loved her. She has teenage boys that do not need to hear this about their mom. Interesting. Interesting. Feel free to give your thoughts if you stumble upon this. So, officially, she is completely gone now. So, feel free to give your thoughts. I found this pretty interesting because, just the cycle of events is really, really weird.